Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. So today I'm filming a full face of drugstore makeup. This is like just cheaper makeup, something I could get from Superdrug, Boots, because we don't necessarily have drugstores here in the UK, but you know the sort of brands I'm going to be pulling from, so like L'Oreal, Maybelline, NYX. It's going to be affordable makeup. Just before we jump into it, if you can hear crackling, that's because I have a woodwick candle over here. I think that's the white tea and jasmine, something along there. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check it out because it smells amazing and it crackles like a fireplace. It's so cozy and it's lasted me forever, so if you can hear some noises in the back, that is what it is. So if we just jump straight into it, I'm going to be using my L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. I'm going to put that on my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion sponge. And I have this in the shade 100 Linen. I always give it a good shake. Just put a pump on my sponge and dot that over my whole face. Now this makeup's going to be on the like slightly glam side. I'm going to play around with my eyes a bit because I'm going out later for my sister's birthday. We're going to go see Chicago in theatre and go out for dinner. So I want this look to be really nice. It shows you don't need lots of expensive makeup to still create a really nice look for special occasions. I'm just going to take another pump because I just want to build up that coverage a tiny bit more as it is a special occasion and I'm going out. But one pump for me would be enough just for day to day. Yeah, that just looks really smooth and has evened out my complexion really nicely. I'm going to take an old favourite of mine. It's the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Eraser Concealer. And this is in Ivory. I haven't actually used this for a while, so the sponge might be a bit dry. But most of you have probably already tried this product. I'm just going to put it in some high points to highlight as well. Tap a tiny bit more in the very dark bits of my eyes just to build up that coverage because I have really bad bags at the moment. Keep staying up late, it's my own fault. Just to cover up some of the scarring and spots, I'm going to take my Collection Lasting Perfection concealers. I'm going to layer them because it's a bit too dark for me at the moment, but then the other one's a bit too light. And once again, I'm just going to blend it in with my sponge. I did recently upload a video on how to cover up acne scarring and spots. This sort of breakout was a lot worse a couple days ago. I took that opportunity to make a video about it. So if you do struggle with acne or covering up spots, do check that video out. I'll put it here, this side I think, and in the description as well. Looking good. And finally this one's clearing up. It was really dry for ages and it just made makeup cling weirdly. It's on the mend now, finally. Okay, I'm now going to take my Rimmel Stay Matte powder. It's so beaten up, it's cracked, and that's just in transparent. This is just a great face powder to be honest, especially for the price. It's so cheap. And I'm just going to take that on my ZOEVA 106 powder pretty much over most of my face because when I go out I prefer to have a not matte appearance because I like highlighter and stuff, but I don't want my skin to be too shiny because I want it to last, and it kind of looks weird in photos sometimes. I think makeup can look more glam if the base is very flawless and matte, so that's what we're going to go for. Now I'm going to take a cult favourite bronzer. It's the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is my second one and I just have this in the shade Bronzer. It smells so good. And I'm going to take that on a Morphe R2 brush. Just a very big fluffy bronzer brush. Or it's a powder brush, I'm not sure. And I'm just going to take that in this area. Always go above your cheekbone, never go below it. Just helps to lift your face. So I've piled that bronzer on my face. I'm looking very healthy. Just for a little bit extra, I am going to take my Morphe E4. It's just this sort of angled brush, just in the same bronzer, and I'm going to just concentrate it right in the hollows of my cheeks and the top of my forehead. I'm going to take a bit on my jawline as well. I'm really happy with how that bronzer looks. I think I look so much healthier and just tanned. I am very aware. Actually, it doesn't look that bad. Normally it looks worse. My hands normally look a lot paler than my face. I don't mind going over the top with bronzer in this time of year because normally the rest of your body is covered up anyway. Talking of beaten up products, I'm going to take my Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso. Look how beaten up this is. And it's so almost finished. I'm really determined to finish this product. That is the one thing about cheaper drugstore makeup. Packaging just isn't that good. Like, most of the products I've shown you are looking very beaten up. Like, my rim will stay matte or they're broken. The product is good and the formula is good. The product doesn't look very good, and it is a bit of a, it takes away from the experience. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. You still get a really nice face. So I'm gonna take my Real Techniques blush brush just in that blusher, pile it on tops of cheekbones and on my nose. I love this because it highlights me as well, and it's just the most natural glow. There is a reason it is like everyone's favorite blush. Look how stunning that is. I used to literally wear this every day. It just gives you the nicest glow, and it's such a flattering colour on my skin tone. I love this stuff. I want to use it up so I can get a new one because I think the packaging's a little bit improved. I've seen my mum's because I convinced her to get one as well. She has nicer packaging. This is quite old. I think I'm going to do my eyebrows because they feel neglected. So I'm going to take my NYX micro brow pencil in taupe. I'm just going to run that through my eyebrows like I normally do. Just brush them up and fill them in a bit. There we go, great brow pencil. Overall, it matches up to any expensive brow pencil I've used. I definitely recommend NYX brow pencils if you're on the hunt for one on the cheaper side. Also, Kiko brow pencils are good. I used to be devoted to my Kiko brow pencil. It's all I ever used. Oh, can you hear the candle? I love that sound, and I'm the sort of person that will sit and put on a 5-hour fireplace sort of YouTube video and just listen to it because it's so nice. Now onto the fun bit. I'm going to take my Colourpop Nude Mood palette. I did find it hard to pick what one I wanted to use because pretty much all of the cheaper palettes I have are Colourpop. I really struggle to find any good palettes from sort of Maybelline, Rimmel, L'Oreal, any of them brands. I just don't get on with the formulas. And I don't really own them, to be honest, because I consider eyeshadow palettes like an investment, and it's something I'm willing to spend more money on because I feel like they just last so long and they like stay in your collection forever. So I have quite a few Colourpop ones because they're just, I like how cheap they are and they are good quality. You can get so many for your money. I do have the expensive Natasha Denona's, Huda, Anastasia Beverly Hills, Urban Decay, so I really struggled, but I thought this would be perfect for this look, especially the shimmer shade in the middle. Okay, I'm gonna stop rambling and I'm gonna take Bare to Wear. It's just this really subtle brown, light brown, on my ZOEVA 228 Luxe crease. I'm zooming in a bit so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna take Bare to Wear, just literally in my whole crease and a little bit above, just so it helps with blending and laying down a foundation. My eyes are like slightly hooded, so that's why I always go way above my crease because I think it just opens them up a lot more. So that's a little trick for you. You want to make your eyes feel more open and see more eyeshadow. When you look straight, go high with your eyeshadow. I used to think it would look weird and it just doesn't, especially with light transition shades. You can almost take them literally to your brow bone and they look really nice. It looks so blended. Yeah, I really like this palette. There is a reason it's like one of the highest selling on Colourpop because it's so easy to wear and it's still really good quality. So now I've chucked that shade on, I'm going to take Au Naturel. It's just the deeper brown, but it is more neutral than the other one. And I'm just going to chuck that in the crease too, just not as high. Okay, there we go, that's where we are at the moment. I'm saying this eyeshadow is going to be quite basic in a way, but yeah, I've just taken my Morphe M441, just in that Bare to Wear shade again, and I'm just blending the edges with it so everything is so blown out and smooth, because that's my biggest gripe with eyeshadow. If they have a solid line, everything needs to be blended, unless you are obviously having a line for cut creases or abstract looks. So I'm going to take my ZOEVA 231 Petite Crease brush, just in Moody, which is this really dark brown. I'm warning you now, it's very pigmented. Just take a tiny bit of it, and I'm going to put that in my crease. My like outer V sort of area, bringing it in as a liner almost, and into just the outer V really. So now I've sort of laid that colour down, but I haven't blended it. I'm just going to go back in with the Au Naturel shade and sort of blend it out, but only use tiny circular movements so it's not going in too far. See, this is why I like this palette so much. Even the really dark shades blend really easily, but they still keep their deepness. I'm going to go back in with that Moody shade on the same brush. Just put it on the liner sort of thing. I'm just going to go back in with that brush and blend the edges again. As you can tell, it's just a lot of blending, to be honest. Okay, now time for the fun bit. I'm going to do put on... just stuck my brush in there. I'm going to do put on airs. It's this coppery bronze gold gorgeousness. I'm going to actually swatch it for you so you can see. Like, oh, that's so stunning. Quite crumbly in the pan. That is one gripe about this eyeshadow palette. It's very crumbly. So I'm really going to knock any loose shadow off because I've done my base. I do not need loads of fallout. So even with a dry brush, that applied so well. I am going to go on my finger because it just helps to layer it, but I like to apply the initial shape with a brush. And I'm bringing this shimmer quite high up because I want you to be able to see it even when I'm looking straight, because it's so stunning. Okay, so I'm just going to go back in with that crease brush and just blend the edges a tiny bit because I don't want a harsh line where I've applied it. Look how much fallout we've got going on. Okay, I'm going to take it with my finger. Oh my god, it's so shiny. I mean, finger is the way to go, but if you like how I do it, where I use a brush to shape it and then finger just to sort of pack on most of the intensity, and just blend out the edges a tiny bit again. Yeah, I'm just gonna go once in again with that brush I've been using for the edges. But yeah, I think I'm happy with that. That is gorgeous. I'm just gonna take a clean brush and squeeze it between my fingers in Au Naturel, just so I can get my lower lash line. I was thinking of putting the shimmer down there, but I'm just going to leave it as that. And also I'm just going to take my powder brush and sweep. I don't think I have much fallout because I shook most of it off, but we just want to be as clean as possible. Okay, and I'm going to go in with my L'Oreal Lash Paradise. This is an amazing mascara. It makes your lashes so thick and dark and rich. Just got loads of mascara there. But yeah, that is the eyeshadow. I love it. I love this sort of colour because it just makes my blue eyes pop. And I'm also going to wear a blue top, so I think this sort of contrast will look really nice. I'm now going to take my Colourpop Super Shock Cheek in Flexitarian. It's on the top there, so you can sort of see the undertone. It's the perfect sort of highlighting shade for me. First of all, I'm going to take the tiniest bit in my inner corner. I'm going to take it on a Morphe M451. It's just this sort of highlighting brush. And I really buff it in so it looks so natural. Because obviously I take a small amount because this highlighter can be really reflective if you don't, but look at it. Oh. I also have one of the blushes from the Super Shock range and I took a while to get on with it, but when I started treating it like a cream blush, I then really liked it because obviously I use this over powder and I sort of buff it in, but it just wasn't working for the blush for me like this. That's how it looks, just a really nice subtle glow, and I think it helps highlight the inner corners of the eyeshadow. Okay, now lips. I'm gonna take my NYX lip pencil in Nude Beige and I'm just gonna line my lips. I'm gonna need to bring the mirror closer to me because this is a really intense job. My lips are really dry for some reason. I should probably have put on some lip balm before this. Okay, it's a very cool tone for this eye look. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I'm gonna take NYX Butter Gloss in Madeline. Do we like this combo with the eye? Is it too cool tone? I think we're gonna keep it. Let me assess the situation. I sound like Ali Gallant. I'm gonna take some more blush and a tiny bit more bronzer just to blend the two together. And to finish it all off, I'm gonna take my Colourpop Pretty Fresh setting spray just to set that all in place. I love this spray. It just takes away any sort of powdery finish, makes your makeup just look so smooth because it's very hydrating. And the mist on it is amazing. I wish some higher end makeup brands use this mist because it would make their products so much nicer. This mist is amazing. I could just keep spraying my face. Okay, so now that's mostly dried down, I'm just gonna take the sponge and pat on my skin a tiny bit because that just sets the spray sort of into my foundation a bit more. Helps it just last that a bit longer. I also find if you have any hair on your face, like even though I'm light haired, I still get sort of like peach fuzz on my face and I don't shave it off because when I shave my face it just breaks me out, so I'd rather just keep it, and this sort of sets any of them hairs down so they're less visible. Okay, so I think this is the final look. I love it. The lip and eye combo is sort of growing on me a bit more, but yeah, I feel really pretty and I'm really excited to go out in it. What do you think? This all cheaper drugstore sort of makeup, how do you think it came out? I feel expensive. I still feel like I look like I'm wearing a high-end face. Okay, so that is the video. I will link all of these products and brushes and tools I use in the description below, so if you want to check any of them out, they're all there. Let me know down in the comments what are your favourite cheaper drugstore makeup. Did you see any of your favourites today? And don't forget to like if you enjoyed and subscribe for future videos. I'm uploading weekly-ish, a little bit more when I have the videos. I also do short product reviews on my Instagram at times to put my face on, so if that is your thing, then go check me out. Just take pretty pictures of products and talk a little bit about them in the captions. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye!